All right, let's dive right in. You've poured your heart, soul, and probably a lot of late nights into building a fantastic website. But it feels like you're standing outside a locked door, and your audience is on the other side. Well, today we're going to find the keys. We are tackling the most fundamental first step in SEO that you'd be surprised so many people get wrong.
So let's just ask the big, frustrating question right up front. You've built this incredible thing, your content is top-notch, the design is slick, so why does it feel like you're invisible? It's a maddening feeling, right? But it almost always points back to one single, totally fixable problem.
Does this hit a little too close to home? You're putting in all this effort, but the traffic you're getting back is just a trickle. You are not alone, I promise. It's a huge source of frustration for so many people. But the good news, the really good news, is that the fix is often way simpler than you think.
See, the problem usually isn't your website. It's not your content. It's not your design. It's something much more basic. It's like there's this invisible wall standing between your amazing website and the millions of people who are literally typing into Google looking for exactly what you offer.
And here's the trap so many people fall into. They see that invisible wall and think they need a wrecking ball. These super complex, super expensive SEO strategies. But they're completely overlooking the simple door that's been sitting there the whole time. Today, we're not going to try to knock down the wall. We're just going to find the right key and open the door.
So how do we get past that wall? How do we open that door? Well, it all comes down to mastering two simple yet unbelievably powerful keys that you have 100% control over. These are the very first things that both search engines and actual human beings see.
The first key is your title tag. Now think of this as the official headline for your web page on Google. It's not just for people to read, it's one of the most critical signals you can send to search engines to tell them, hey, this is what my page is about. Honestly, getting this right is totally non-negotiable if you want to rank well.
Okay, key number 2 is the meta description. This is that little snippet of text you see right under the headline in the search results. Now, if the title tag is for the robots, the meta description is for the humans. Its one and only job is to be so interesting, so compelling, that it convinces a real person to click your link instead of the 10 others on the page.
And if you take away just one thing today, let it be this. These two things have completely different jobs. You have to get this straight. The title tag speaks to the search engine robots. Its goal is all about ranking and relevance. The meta description speaks to actual people. Its goal is pure persuasion to get that click. You have to nail both of them to win.
Okay, let's get practical. We'll start with that first key, the title tag. This is your direct line to Google's brain. So let's make sure you're speaking its language loud and clear.
Crafting a great title is actually a pretty simple formula. Step 1, know exactly what keyword you're targeting. Step 2, and this is crucial, put that keyword right at the beginning. That's prime real estate. Step 3, add some punch with a number or a powerful phrase like complete guide. And finally, the step that almost everyone forgets, you've got to check the length.
Why? Because if your perfectly crafted title gets cut off with a ... you've already lost. You have this tiny little window to make your case, and the magic number you need to stay under is this, 32. That's it, 32 characters. Anything more and you risk Google's algorithm just chopping it off, killing your message before anyone even reads it. Be punchy, be powerful, and stay under 32.
Now let's cover a few quick pro tips to keep you out of trouble. First, every single page on your site needs its own unique title. No copy pasting. Second, don't just stuff it with a bunch of keywords. Google sees right through that, and it'll actually hurt you. And if you have room, pop your brand name at the very end. And remember that last point, a bad title can make even the most amazing content totally invisible. All right, so you've spoken to the robot, you've optimized for Google. Now it's time to persuade the person. This is where that second key, the meta description, comes into play. Think of this as your one shot, your personal invitation to earn that click.
So here's a little industry secret that a lot of people miss. The meta description itself doesn't directly tell Google how to rank you. However, and this is a huge however, a really compelling description gets more people to click. That higher click-through rate sends a massive signal to Google that people find your page valuable, which absolutely can boost your rankings over time. It creates this amazing positive feedback loop.
So how do you write a great one? It's another simple process. Start by answering the user's silent question. What's in it for me? Make the value crystal clear. Then, weave your keywords in naturally. Google will actually bold them in the search results, which makes your link pop. And always, always end with a clear call to action, like learn how or see more. And yep, you guessed it, you've got to watch the clock on the character count here too.
Now, your window here is a bit bigger than the title tag, but it is just as unforgiving. Your mission is to state your value, include your keywords, and give a call to action, all before you hit the limit. And that limit is 120. That is your sweet spot. You get 120 characters to convince a total stranger that your page is the one they've been looking for.
Okay, now for the part that separates the amateurs from the pros. Optimizing your titles and your descriptions isn't a one-time thing you can just check off a list. It's a living, breathing process. You just can't set it and forget it. It doesn't work that way. What works today might not work 6 months from now. Search trends change, your competitors get smarter. The real key to long-term, sustainable traffic growth is treating this as a constant cycle of optimizing, monitoring, and improving.
So how do you know if it's working? Well, you're going to use a free and absolutely essential tool called Google Search Console. And you're going to keep an eye on 3 key numbers. Impressions, that's just how many people saw your link. Average position, that's where you're generally ranking. But the most important one is click-through rate, or CTR. That tells you what percentage of people who saw your link actually clicked it. If that number is low, it's a huge red flag that your title or description just isn't cutting it.
And once you get the hang of it, you can take it to the next level. Try running A/B tests. That's where you try out 2 different titles for the same page to see which one gets more clicks. And always, always keep an eye on what your top competitors are doing. How are their headlines written? What can you do to make your listing stand out even more?
So that's it. That's the foundation. It isn't about some secret, complex algorithm. It's just about clear communication. First, you talk to the robots, then you talk to the humans. Master these 2 simple keys, and you've taken the single most powerful step toward getting the traffic your amazing website truly deserves. So the only question left is, which page are you going to unlock first?